Folks, I'm excited to tell you about my new sponsor, Black Bull Markets. They are based here in New Zealand, and they're a New Zealand regulated broker who offers up to 500 to 1 leverage and over 26,000 tradable instruments. You can trade Forex, shares, commodities, indices, crypto, and they're an award-winning brokerage firm here in Asia Pacific with dedicated 24/7 client support and no minimum deposit. To trade with Black Bull Markets today, click the link in the description below or in the card above.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world today. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Jensler, and this is the second day of trading the Fidelcrest challenge. I'm one of the two, the one person that was able to get a Fidelcrest challenge from Cam from Trading Nut, which I'm lucky enough to do so. So here we are in the markets today. Again, as usual, we just need to run through our checklist and make sure that we are getting the news and keeping it intact, making sure that we know the times of the news. The time is important. Okay, so first things first, news. What is news today? Let's just go look on investing.com quickly. Okay, advert, and we have news. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of medium impact news. FOMC member speaking is going to be speaking very, very soon at 1 o'clock. It was my time, which is right now. They just started speaking. That's why there's a whole bunch of volatility in the market. Then we have other major impact news and a whole bunch of little events at 2 o'clock my time, which is in 1 hour, which is from now, which is 9 o'clock. It'll be at 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock is basically 10 o'clock and 10:30. It's going to be some kind of event, some kind of swing, some kind of things happening. And we just need to roll with it. Again, the charts will show us. We don't necessarily need to know what they're saying, but the charts will show us what we need to know. Okay, so moving on, let's just switch to my thing quickly, and we start with dollar. The other day, we were checking what the dollar was doing, and right now it seems to have hit a beautiful liquidity point. Let's actually pull that in the 1 hour, and you'll see what that is. This is the consequent encroachment. So that was actually on the daily. That was the consequent encroachment of that wick. So 50% of that wick, consequent encroachment, it hit that and bounced off. That's when we traded the other day. Yesterday, I didn't stream, but it was very interesting. I'll show you that later. And then today we are going down. So what does that show us for the day? Well, that's a very skew sell side liquidity. But what does that show us for the day? Well, it shows us one of two things. We're hitting a fractal power of 3. So we have high, a lower high over here on the daily. The next candle has gone up and basically to fill in and then come all the way down to this little fair value gap over here, just in between there. So that is the fair value gap. It has also gone in to fill this volume imbalance right over here. And the next one, volume imbalance, would be down here, which is another one right there behind. Let me just go to my comments quick. Hello, Altered Strings. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I realized that I'm trading with streaming with this platform. I have to actually turn the comment off. So I turned it on, and then now I'm turning it off. I've also got music ready to go. But now with this volume imbalance, I'm not necessarily just looking at this volume imbalance itself. I'm looking at what's behind the volume imbalance. So there's another volume imbalance right there, which is another major pull. And we have a tiny volume imbalance down here and a tiny fair value gap over here. My ultimate aim, if it was to go short, the dollar, that is to come right down here. Now that is a consequent encroachment. So there's a fair value gap from here to there. That's consequent encroachment of that candle, not the gap itself. And so it bounced in that fair value gap and went all the way up on the daily, and then now it's bouncing and hit some point of liquidity and coming down. It's a very, very interesting time because again, we have 1, 2, 3, and then it didn't go lower. It actually went higher and higher and higher and pushed for that liquidity. And then now it looks like it's coming down, but we'll see as we go into lower time frames. Right now, if I take this off the chart, these are all the volume imbalance and stuff that I drew in. We have a beautiful symmetrical thing forming right here, kind of that's coming down. The other day, buy side was taken and it came plummeting down, little thing again, leaving an opening gap right there. So we have the weekly opening over here, we have an opening gap over there, we have an opening gap over here. And so what we like to look at is the last 10 days of opening gaps. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is all coming down. As you can see, price is coming down following that. And it's highly likely that it's going to go towards this weekly opening gap over here. It's just bounced off that volume imbalance that we drew in before. Beautiful. What time did it do it? There's a lovely little thing that happens in these markets. It's at 8 a.m. There's a little thing where it swings. So if you see here, I bet you this is around 8 o'clock. Let's go into a lower time frame. 8 o'clock on the dot. You can look at that every day. So let's go back to the next day. There we go. There's a move that happened at around 8. So it's around 8 o'clock and it drops down and then it starts doing its thing. And it happens generally, like a lot of times in the day. I was actually looking at this move that's happening right now and thinking if I should trade it before, like preempts getting in, but it doesn't obey my rules, so I'm not going to do that. So on the dollar, what are we doing right now? The move's coming up. We're looking at the what's it called? I just forgot. The electronic trading hours against the real-time hours. So where they closed the market again was over here, and it opened over here. So electronic trading has done a dirty move all the way down, and this whole green area needs to kind of get filled right now. But we're looking at 9:30. So 9:30, which is very, very soon. It's in 20 minutes. That area, wherever price closes, that's where we keep our box. I'm going to do that with all of our instruments as well. So US 500, this is interesting. The other day, when I said it came down to constant encroachment, I said it's highly likely that it's going to bounce around here, go up, and then come down again. And it did that beautifully. It opened a new day, and it just came all the way. It just came all the way down to exactly where I said it would go. Same thing happened the next day. So we had buy side, which is here, and sell side at the bottom over here. Now, there's an interesting correlation in the markets. This is something I didn't explain the other day. The other day, both the US 500 and the USD and GBP, they all were on the same side of the opening gap. Now, what I mean by that is over here, there was an open gap down here and all the markets were above. So they then traded down. Yesterday, there was a thing I've noticed is there's a lovely little crack that happens. So if I look at Euro USD at the same time, it's been big moves today. Big moves today. this is the other day, and this was yesterday, basically. So let's just pull up the daily gaps for that. 6, 7, 8. So liquidity over here at 10 o'clock, it came up and it hit it. It passed the 9:30 liquidity and then took sell side. On US 500, that only happened at after 1 for lunch. And this is a very interesting phenomenon, because what you can check is that when this goes down and it keeps on pushing and pushing and pushing and it stays down here low, US 500, as soon as it has rated its highs, it didn't actually do anything. As soon as it's gone to its buy side, it then started hitting lower and then making beautiful moves on the sell side. Now today, again, we're going to put up our times. So I'm just going to put not 940, 930, and 830, because that's our initial starting liquidity. So from here to here, so wherever price lands up at 930, we have our box for where the opening is. So where's the opening for today? Today over here, the opening is around 4, 3, 2, 1, 6 here. I haven't actually drawn this in today, not yet. We have 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 2, 6. See right there, if you look at the candles at the bottom, there's 1658, 1659, 601. So 1801. So that right there is very, very interesting to me, because it's a very fine gap. So what we're looking at is the close of that candle compared to the open of that next candle. And we draw that out, and then that's our opening gap. And that's been taken over here. So price is now on the bottom of this. Euro USD prices from the opening gap today is not underneath it. It's just gone through the roof. So it's a very interesting thing that happens. What generally seems to happen is they wait for one to or all the markets to reach one area, and then they go and hit it all down. So US dollar, honestly, I think is going to go long from here, and so is and so is the euro. But then I'm expecting them to plummet. So here we go, looking at the opening here to see how GBP it's telling me as well that the euro is just really, really strong at the moment. But GBP right now is underneath its opening as well. It's just underneath. So it could be heading lower, because it's just taken all of the sell side liquidity that's been built underneath here. It's just taken all of that. And its next target would be these equal lows over here. That would be next sell side. And there's a nice weekly opening just underneath over there. So let's look at DXY again. DXY is still continuing up. Euro is also going up at the same time. That's fascinating. That's fascinating for me. Oh yes, I got some music. Let me put it on. I want to see if it's too loud. Let's see. Just looking on the sell side for wherever the opening was, and the opening where they opened it was over here. So that's this now again covers the it covers the opening gap. So let me just mark that quickly. Not opening gap. Okay. So the other day it was slightly different in that the opening weekly gap from the open over there, where they opened it and then they started trading, there was a slight difference. And so this is generally a target. And now it's pumped up super high and gone into weekly gaps, opening gaps on the buy side. If you look at that on over here, we have all of these, this weekly opening gap that happened last week. So not this week, last week. The week before is actually just underneath. So that's where it's coming through and bounced off of this daily gap here, and it's just meandering. Now, when we see a whole bunch of opening gaps and stuff that are quite consolidated like this over here in that consolidated range, for me that could generally be a target where price wants to go and take all of this liquidity over here. So let me just get this, put that here. All of this liquidity that's been built up in these areas is a target. Up until we get to this area here where this, again, there is liquidity just above there that was snapped and taken to go lower. Now, as we know, the market will go up and it will go down and go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. I turn strings. I actually trade US 500. That's my trading pair. But as I said, with Fidelcrest, what tends to happen is the spread is like, the spread itself is like a dollar, like or one handle and a quarter. So it's pretty rough when it comes to the spread. So if you're aiming for like a 5 handle move or a 10 handle move, you're already, and say you put your stop loss at 5 handles, you're already cutting yourself into quite a loss when you enter. And because I like to enter at market and not necessarily at a limit, I'm still trying to, I don't know, with limit orders, I feel like it's really hard because the market can change, can shift. And so as you put a limit order in, it can go to it and then carry on going to the moon. But if it's manual, I can see how the candle's reacting at that time and then just be like, okay, I don't trust this right now because the candle's behaving strange and news has come out that's weird, and so I'm not gonna trust it. This is the opening over here. Opening over here. So again, US 500 buy side is definitely in order to be taken because it has to balance. The opening price, as I said before, is where I think that where all the institutions and stuff, that's where they place their trades. That's like the starting point of the day, and they'll move it a fraction up. So if you see here, on the last day over here, it opened up at, I don't know, it opened right there at 98 or 3984.1, and then the new opening day is just 20 handles below. So it tends to not make super large range of moves unless you have an expansion day, of course. Now, as you can see, EURUSD has expanded way past. It's just like taken all of this liquidity already. Like that's done. This liquidity is taken. The next liquidity point would be, you'd be looking up here. And so I'm just right now just going to set the liquidity. We've still got 11 minutes before the 9:30 candle comes in. This would be a point of liquidity. Do we have equal highs here? No. We have equal highs above this opening gap. That would be buy side. And buy side if it wants to carry on making its way up. And then we have relative, this is relative over here because there's a little gap over there. So that would be another point that I would put Just above all of those opening gaps. How fascinating is that? Buy side. Where's buy side? Buy side. And buy side. Now let's look at sell side quickly. No equal lows, no equal lows. There is a little bit over here. There's a big fair value gap down here for the day. So let me just label that. We have a lot of equal lows just underneath here. So if we're looking on the sell side, this would be my target, which is very, very close to the opening. The other day I traded, I said that it could go to consequent encroachment of this over here. Funnily enough, look at where we are right now. That fair value gap, if I drew a fib right from over here to over here, 50% again, right there, that's consequent encroachment of that gap. And that fair value gap's in there perfect. How strange is that? Even though we haven't closed yet, that's a target for me for downside. Previous weekly high is still intact. Let me check. This is a weekly high for this week. The last week is all the way up here. Yeah, that is a long long way away. If they are going to put it up there, again, you would look at the consequent encroachment of that wick over there, and it would be here. Let's just have a look at this and see. I was there. That was taken by, yeah. And just keep going down, and then we come into a nice consolidation to just keep inching down. Huge consolidation to go up. Spiked up there into that daily gap and came down. What time was that? Perfect. 9:45 to 10 o'clock. That's when I trade. Funny. So my time, remember, is from 9:50 to 10:10. So let me just put that in there quick. Draw this back. Look at that day. 9:50 to 10:10. Okay, trading hits the opening gap after the 9:30. So it's 7 minutes. The 9:30 liquidity was this sell side. This buy side was taken. And as soon as it breaks these candles, breaks one, that gets broken twice, then we're looking for our fair value gaps and all that kind of stuff. So consequent encroachment, Ethan, ATB, consequent encroachment is where price, or the algorithm wants to trade into a wick or an imbalance of some, so say it's an imbalance. Now, in the algorithm, wicks are seen as gaps. They're seen as imbalances. So even on the 1 minute here, you can easily look. You can just go to any part of the chart and look at any wick you want. So let me zoom in, and we go up here. I'm going to draw my fib from here to here. 50% right there. Right there. That's consequent encroachment of that wick. So it comes into consequent encroachment and rejects. So if I put that there, you can see that. That is perfect. Well, not exactly perfect because Forex is funny, but then it bounced off. Then let's look at this next wick over here. So let's look at this wick. We'll go up to here. 50%. And it goes off. We look at this one, that would be around 50%. If we're looking over here, that would be at around 25%. So ICT likes talking about, so here's a full 100%, you have 50% over here. And then you can draw that in and do 50% of that, so that would be 25%. And from that 50% over there, you could also do another 50%. And you can see how the bodies respected this perfectly. So we have the start, 25%, 50%, 75%. And then it's very, very interesting. And then you can actually see how price is going to carry on. It's going to carry on in the move that's going. So again, this is the 1 minute. So you can read the candles as it's going up. It comes down. It rejects this. It rejects it again. You know, with not 100% certainty, but with low certainty, especially after you come to like a fair value gap over here, came in, rejected, goes up. That of that consequent encroachment of that wick, that imbalance has been filled and taken care of, and then it's going to continue trading up. So you can, it's interesting. You can do that with a lot of the large range wicks as well. So over here, 50% would be around there. Then it goes up and it continues. This large wick over here, 50% would be around there. And if I zoomed out, I can tell you right now, let me just put that in like this. And we'll see if there's some kind of reaction. But there's a reaction that happens in that wick later on. No worries, Ethan. No worries at all. Simone, can I check gold? Gold is not my thing. I only have 3 minutes before I need to actually get into the market right now, because we have the lows so far that are set down here. So this would be sell side liquidity right there. Is sell side, and I'm waiting for the highest point for buy side to form. I don't actually have gold on my chart, on these charts. I haven't set it up. To make a new one quick, I'm going to gold. What are we doing? That I see this whole area as being unfilled. We have, it's come down, taken this, come up. There's equal highs over here. That was taken out. Buy side, there's consequent encroachment over here, here as well. And we also have an order block over here, and you have fair value gap. This whole area is a potential area for it to come down into, to tap, possibly go to that tiny little order block that's down there on the 15 minutes, and then keep on going up. And take this away, it's useless. Then let's go down to 1 minute, see where we are. There's a whole bunch of equal lows under here. This has been taken and it carried on going up, created equal lows, went down, came up, sniped the equal lows. Now it's seeking a target on the buy side. Those equal lows were sniped over there. These equal lows were sniped. Yeah, it was definitely sniped. Went back in price. That has just been taken now, yes. So this point over here has just been taken. Draw that in. Right there. That's been taken. Let's continue to trade higher. Looking at the high points. Ooh, There's some nice. That's also been taken. Yeah, I mean, I don't actually trade gold because I found that it's highly volatile. So it's kind of it's not the instrument that I trade generally. The instrument I trade is either USD or US 500. And so I feel like gold is highly volatile, and yes, you can catch monster moves in it if your analysis is correct, but there's not enough play within it for it's either it just goes one way insane and then comes out, okay, hold on, 9 o'clock's just been set. So 8:30 opening candle. That means that in this, the highest point over here is buy side. So we're seeing what they want to target first. Possibly the buy side liquidity, depending. But it's a very small range. It's a very consolidated range today. No worries at all. Let's look at US 500. And things going to come in, it's going to fill all of this quickly. From, as you can see, there's a volume imbalance right there. It's engineered liquidity up here, and your 8:30 candle was right there. So that is buy side. And looking up for buy side, I see a lot of buy side here. That got sniped. That's at the very high point. But again, today, the news that's coming out is going to be at 10 o'clock. So that's going to be around the time that I actually trade. Which is a little bit scary. It's scary to trade as news breaks. And then let's go here. Sell side. Okay, now looking at Euro and pulling this up, again, we're seeking divergence. So are there equal highs over here on the buy side? Yes, there are. For GBP, there's lots of buy side. And there's these perfect equal highs up here for GBP as well. And a nice little packet back here. On the sell side, there's not much on the 1 minute. Go back into the 15. Yeah, that's been taken. And there's a little fair value gap in here. That's about it. That was a weekly open. Beautiful. And back up. We're also looking at this as being a potential target on GBP. Let's just go into the daily. Yeah, so on the daily, you have equal highs up here, around-ish, and you have a big fair value gap in here, and Equal highs up there, up there, up there. Yeah, those are huge. So it's actually looking quite bullish. It's looking like it's risk off. But we'll see. Colin bro, I haven't taken a trade today yet. I'm actually just waiting to see what the market wants to show me. Because right now we're in a little bit of normally what happens after a big massive move, especially on US 500 and Euro, is that so the massive move that happened, it went all the way up, and it happened today at 6 o'clock. That's the general. If you're looking for like a nice trade entry time, look between 5 and 6 for some kind of divergence, and then from in that time, from about 5:45 ish to around 6:30 ish, there'll be some kind of a reversal. So here you can see it's like 6:30. It comes and it does like a whole reversal, comes down. It was targeting something, okay? And if it was targeting these lows, which for me would be the volume imbalance, the void that's in here, and then there's a void over here, and then ultimate is down here for sell side, then it hasn't reached its target yet, unless these equal lows over here were its target, and then it goes up. Now, why I say that time specifically is we're looking at 6:30. So let's go on the previous day. 5 to 6. No, didn't happen there because it formed equal lows and went up, and then 7:20 was the trade. But we go the previous day, like 5 to 6 ish. There's a whole bunch of bouncy bounce. Look at the previous day. It's like trades don't happen every day. If you're thinking trades are going to happen every day, they don't. So we're looking at main times of trading movement will be between 2 to 3. There'll be some kind of move, and then 3 o'clock something will happen, and 6 o'clock something will happen, and then we have the New York session. So after 9:30 open, something happens, and then we have lunchtime, and then after lunch a move happens. Same thing on here. We have 2 o'clock. We have just chop, pure chop. So that's 2 to 3, and then that will have your move to 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock is coming down. Now we're looking potentially. I'm looking at a long on this to go up to here. Because what is that? That is your opening gap. Now, if we look at Euro USD, I'll just take this away. Again, over here, this was the New York session. Came down. We have 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And then we have 6 o'clock, which is which is the retracement up into the New York session. Let's just go back randomly in time, and you can go to any day that's random and just look at times. So we have 2 o'clock again, 3 o'clock, move comes down to New York session. New York opens and it goes up. 3 o'clock again, comes down, New York session goes up. 2 o'clock to around 3 o'clock, it comes down. 6 o'clock, it goes up. So it's these expansions are predictable in time, generally. Sometimes they'll move the markets in some crazy strange day that you don't expect, but that's okay. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen every day. So I'm just waiting for my trade setup to come into fruition, which is I'm looking for a raid of the buy side liquidity or sell side, which just happened. Let me just check the, I'm just checking the chat messages. I'm there. Okay, so buy side was just taken. Now again, what I like to do is after buy side, I like to see what's happening divergence wise. And we're looking at the 5 minute as well. The liquidity on the 5 minute though. Lots of buy side on GBP. We'll see what they want to do. Again, we're just waiting for that 10 o'clock news event, and a trade should form sometime there. Let's look at this. There's also quite relative equal highs. And what's it seeking? Is equal lows down here on GBP. And so yeah, Simone, the gold is the markets are extremely vicious. They will give and they will take. That's what they do. They love it. It's like their thing. They give and they take all day long. I'm also checking on the trading platform. So this is actually very interesting. What's happening right now, where the voids are and where the gaps are. Okay, now if you see what's happened right over here, the range. So this range over here is quite small. If I take that same box and put it onto the next range, we have this being quite small. But what's happening is it's getting larger and larger and larger and larger and larger. To me, this would indicate a day of seek and destroy, where they're going to literally, okay, some people, how do I explain this? So what happens is they'll see this move and they'll be like, okay, great, it comes up, it comes down, I'm safe to take a trade. So they take a trade here, great, it goes down, and they're expecting it to continue going lower to these equal lows. But then what happens is it comes up and snipes them out. Then it goes down again. Okay, they're like, okay, I'm going to re-enter. So they re-enter, it comes up, takes them out. And then they're like, okay, I'm going to go long. So or from here, taken out, they're going to go long. They go long on the next gap. They go long, goes up, and they get taken out. Okay, they're going to go short. They go short and taken out. They go long and taken out. So it's just seek and destroy profile all day and all night. It's terrible. Days like this are very, very risky. It's risky to trade. Like if you hit the move at the end, like fantastic. But right now there's no actual pattern to what's happening. Because it's just you're gonna enter, great, I'm gonna stop you out. You're gonna enter, great, I'm gonna stop you out. So that was the 8 o'clock move, consolidation. I would say I'm looking for expansion lower if I had someone was forcing me to place a trade, because I look at DXY and DXY's got a massive gap to fill. $130 open. Yeah, price is looking very interesting right now. Took buy side, came down, consequent encroachment of this candle, reaction. we have divergence on the dollar at all? This is going up from the lows. It's also going up. There is some form of divergence happening on the 1 minute, the 5 minutes. High's going down. No. Low. Lows going up. Lows going up. And there is some form of divergence. See what happened there? Like I said, seek and destroy. If you'd entered over here and you're expecting a long, just comes down, and then the next target, if it doesn't continue pushing down, will be up here to go for those longs. So this way they are building liquidity. Pikachu, ICT is not selling courses right now. He's giving everything for free. You just go into his Twitter. He's literally giving away everything for free. And for me, I haven't actually paid a cent. Everything I've learned is off of is off of YouTube. Everything I've learned is just literally delving into the charts and watching price print. I didn't actually finish my story my story the other night about I was a gamer before, and I used to game a lot. And it was very, very interesting looking at the higher time frames and shorter time frames from trading and relating that to gaming. And so in Fortnite you can play one long game and get a little bit of experience, or you can go into a different mode where you have unlimited materials and you can literally practice and practice and practice and practice without any restrictions. And so you're able to improve a lot faster on the shorter time frames. And so I kind of took that approach to my trading as well. So then what I did was I literally spent 6 months on the 1 minute. I'd spend 3 to 4 hours a day just looking at price on a 1 minute chart and seeing how they print, how the candles print up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, and trying to figure out and notice things that happen in price. But even if you took one of ICT's like old concepts called the OTE and you applied it to today, and you were trading, say, the London session, and you were very, very bullish, all right, you estimated or had a belief that price was going to go up, 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 fantastic. You take something called an OTE, which is literally your fib over here. So you have your fib, you have your 62% retracement, and you have your 79% retracement. For me, it's 38 and 21 because I flipped it because I want to go up instead of down, because I find it not intuitive. So for me personally, so you go to these lows over here and you look at the nearest high, 38%. If you were taking a trade using OTE, it would go here, you'd go to either here for 1.75 or 150 for 3.6R. Great, that worked. If you were still believing that it's going up, you get the next low and the next high, and you go from the 38% level right there, which is the 62%, and you go to the 150, which is right there, which is another 3R. And let me just remove those. And we do the same thing from this low to this high. 38%, or between 38 and 21, that area right there, you go to the next high. And we go over here to up here, hits the 38 perfectly, goes to the next high. Goes from here to here, 38% perfectly, goes to the next high. So it's just been on a buy program all day. Only time it actually changed structure was just over here where it broke down to consolidate in this area. Hasn't taken sell side yet. If it busts up and carries on going higher, then I'll be looking for sells. So we've just created a beautiful little high over here. So that's engineering liquidity. I'm quite confident it's within this fair value gap right over here. I'm quite confident that price is actually going to go through here.
High ambitions in the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives. You create.
Yes, Pikachu. Because delving into the charts, what happens on the 1 minute is replicated on the 5, it's replicated on the 15, it's replicated on the hour. The moves are all the same, there's just different time frames. Some are smaller, some are larger. And so for me personally, going into the short time frame, it allows you to get years of experience in a very small amount of time. In trading, I would consider 6 months to be a small amount of time.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for.
What's dollar doing right now? Also, it's within that range that we spoke about before.
I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be fucking sour.
8,
Take a cold shower, scream until you're louder.
30, just right there. That's the sell side. And at 9:30, dollar has taken the buy side. Do you see this search and destroy profile that's happening right here? Like I mentioned before, this is buy side. So it's gone from a small range and starts expanding. And all that's doing is that's drawing people into the market and just taking them out. Now that can happen actually all day. And it's very interesting to watch. Do you look at ES, NQ, YM with DXY4 divergence? So I look at ES and NAS. Why I generally I have another chart that I use to check the YM, but I find that when I see the divergence happening between NAS and US, it's quite reliable to me. So I use those two for me. I like looking at YM sometimes, but I would never trade it. Where did price go? It went exactly the buy side that we said earlier, straight up to there. So Ethan, US 500 is basically the international market. It's the market that like we can't trade E-money S&P overseas, which is unfortunate because we'd be able to actually it'd be better for us, but we have to trade CFDs. And so if I were to look at let me do this. Go here. Gold spot E-menu March. There we go. Okay, so I don't have real-time data on this, so it's like lagging behind, and that's the, I don't know, let's put in the one limit, see where price is different. That's where we are for the E-mini S&P in futures, and I look at this and it's already ahead of where that is. So I don't actually trade, we can't trade this. They don't offer it to international people. Yeah, we're just waiting. Yes, Ethan, I'm from South Africa. Yeah, it is lame, but I guess it's rules and regulations, and so we just have to do what we can do. You know, I wish we could all just be on the same market doing the same thing, but you can't. And so it's kind of the same as spread, like for different brokers and different things. But the seek and destroy is vicious. It's absolutely vicious. Look at this area. Look how messy this is. It's just dirt. It took the buy side, and then it seeked it out again, and then now it's just seeking the sell side. So it's a dirty day. It's a dirty day. If you're able to get in earlier at 8 o'clock, like as soon as I saw, because if you remember what I said the other day, for me, after this gets taken, that's first break. As soon as that gets taken over here, that's second break. So then your trade comes in to go short. But because of this price action, it can go anyway. Ethan, I'm glad that you're seeing the consequent encroachment. So here, let's look at it again. Oh, this is interesting actually. What's just happened right now? This is a new concept that ICT has brought out, and it's called the implied fair value gap. So the implied fair value gap is where you have the consequent encroachment of one wick that goes up and the consequent encroachment of the wick that's going down. So that's around about here. Okay. So that would be your implied fair value gap, which I dubbed the IFVG. So from that one to that one, we'll see how price responds to this rate. Let's actually make that like perfect. 50%, yeah, it's not there. 50% is over here. Let's see the 50% of this candle. Right there. There we go. If you see how what price just did is it created an implied fair value gap. It's come and tapped into it, which is the 50% of that candle, and then now it's going down. It's a fascinating thing, and I still have to watch price and see what they do in this area, because it's an important very, very important thing, I think, later on down the road. So if we go back, here's an implied fair value gap right there from 50% to 50%. Draw that out in time. I mean, you know. Oh, look what they've done. They've just ripped, because news just came out. Went right into that fair value gap up here. And it's come down. Let's see what US is doing. Whew. Come up to this breaker over here. Yeah, we're going for the highs. Equal highs, up, 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 up. Now dollar's going to buy side. It's definitely this huge gap in price in that was set in the morning. There's a huge void. This is a void of information. There's actually there's only going away from price there. So to balance it out, price has to come back in, do something, and then go away. So whether it goes this way or it goes this way, whatever it does in here, it's like a big level. Look at this, that's manipulation right there. Let's see what's happening. It's just dirty. If you placed your stop over here and you're seeking long, you just got stopped hard. If you placed your stop over here and you're seeking short, you could possibly get stopped. But this IFVG looks like it's actually holding pretty well. But we'll see what happens from the consequent encroachment of this candle. At 10 o'clock, when the news was expected to come out. Yeah, it's just a dirty day. One of those days, if you're trading on the 1 minute, like I am, I'm a 1 minute trader. It's like, this is one that you would just watch and observe. Just observe price, see what it's doing. Let's go look at the US 500. So we have equal price action over here. It's gone down, it's come up. So that there is your breaker, for your bullish breaker, the last candle to come down right there. That's your bullish breaker going to the buy side, but it's not as trustworthy because we've taken buy side over here and sell side hasn't been delivered yet. So if you're looking for a move to the buy side, you would want, if they've taken buy side here, you would want them to push sell side first and then go and deliver to buy side. For euro, I'm actually not looking for I'm not looking for longs, I was looking for shorts today. It's just been a dirty morning. When it's like this, it really just makes you not want to trade. But as soon as this has happened, it's taken the buy side over here, and now it's aiming sell side. But there's a crack in this correlation right now, because we have a massive move to the consequent encroachment of the electronic trading gap, as well as the opening over here. Like, I would expect price to make its way all the way down to here, to at least a consequent encroachment, or come down to here in Euro USD. DXY, I'm expecting the dollar to from here, but it didn't take out sell side. I wanted sell side to get taken first, so my rules for my entry didn't happen. So it goes up here. I would expect it to come up here. At least the constant encroachment, which is 50% of this green box, and then going up to here. So that little black line I've drawn in there, that's consequent encroachment of the void. And we have this price over here, both sides of it, which could be targeted. Especially with these equal highs right over here, those equal highs pulled out to the side. That is a big target.
I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less.
See what happened over here.
What's happening next? You got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second.
Second buy side, now it's going to take sell side. But there's a problem, because on the euro US dollar, so this is something that didn't happen the other day. The markets today, especially over here, there's a very small electronic trading hour and real-time trading hour gap. And so what happened is it priced up into the daily opening, which if you see in the 1 minute, there is a whole bunch of reactions that happened within that day. So you see it bounced off there, it created a gap, it went off, it went up, it came down, a whole bunch of reactions within that. If I was trading long, it would be going up soon, but no. This is going through the floor. You took buy side first and you targeted short. Yeah, Michael, the prop challenge is going alright. I'm 1.14% in profit right now, which is great. It's always nice to be in profits. And yeah, we're just targeting and aiming. I might have to trade the days that I don't stream, just because, like today, I didn't expect price to do what it did. It made this like massive move all the way up, and then it's in this the AM session right here. It's just been super dirty. It's just been seek and destroy this whole session, and it waited for that 10 o'clock news, which was just over here, 10 o'clock news, and it just took both sides out and then has gone down. So let's see what it wants to do. Dollar at the consequent encroachment. Euro USD. If you got into that as a short, let's check a GB. Ooh, taking the sell side right there. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Again, GBP didn't confirm it. So GBP, the daily open was very close. So it's just sitting on the range, and then now it's gone down. DXY. So the markets today weren't as correlated as I would have liked to have seen them. That's why, like, Euro has just completely diverged from everything else. Everything else is sitting within so dollar is here, it does this, it comes up. It's a beautiful it's a beautiful little move that's happening. US 500 is basically the reverse of that. It's gone up and it's come down, and it's nice. But Euro is just something else. It's just gone and done its own thing. Yes, DB. I like that. Let's make some money. But careful. From this point, because GBP has hit its sell side, it's taken the bottom side of the sell side, and it's taken a relative equal low. What it could do from here is it could do a little flipperoo and again go up, because there's a lot of equal highs that have been formed, especially if you see over here, just over here, all the way up here, like that for me would be like a buy side objective. My view initially was I wanted price to go short from this from where it is right there into the electronic trading hour gap down to the consequent encroachment, which is just, so from over here, this area, from 10 o'clock, which would be my trading, down into here and down into here. But it didn't, it was just, price was just so dirty, and there was the building of liquidity on those sides. There was not much of a divergence. So if you see the low over here, there's a little higher high over here, which is perfect over here, the higher high over there, there's a lower high over there. That was all replicated perfectly. There was nothing telling me that it was going to go to diverge in one direction. So my rules are that I have to have divergence, I have to have a market structure shift, I have to have a fair value balance, or some kind of imbalance, such as a void or something in the market where I wanted to fill to go down. So it actually, the move started today earlier. So let me just pull this up. Can you sow trap trading? What do you mean? What do you mean trap trading? What is that? So I was just about to explain. So the move over here, you see there was a small divergence, which I like to see, from here to here and here to here. And then what they did was that the relative equal highs over here, they got spiked. And I actually like using this LSMA, which is the least squared moving average. It's kind of like it's one indicator that I've kind of held onto. And what that does for me is it shows me if price is just basically it's going here, then I feel like, okay, I'm not going to get into a trade, especially if price is going up. Even if it's coming down, I'm just not going to do it. As soon as it starts going underneath, then then it's highly likely. But if it's doing this choppy chop, there's no ways. Yes, the trap trading, yeah. So big traders, like I said, like you said, they do love doing that. Look how it touches that perfectly and comes up. Amazing. Just like I said, after this, I expect it to retrace. So now what we could be looking at is, if it continues to go down, if we're looking at shorts, there's a fair value gap over here, but I don't think that would be held. In my opinion, they've done this move over here in this price over here. It's taken out sell side on over here. And where is our next play on the US 500? It would be these lows right over here. But buy side hasn't been taken. So it's interesting. US 500 is telling me that sell side has been taken, buy side hasn't been taken. I would want buy side the 830 target. It would have to come up, but there's going to be a move down. Obviously, the market moves in different ways. Trap trading, Ashes? Can you explain it to me more? So let me just check the news again. ISM 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock just happened. There's another little batch happening. There's another high impact and a medium impact at, for me it's 2:30, so that will be at 10:30. If you're liking this video so far, don't forget to just hit that like button. It's gonna help Cam. It's gonna help Trading Nut a lot. So if this move continues on like this, Euro for me would be continuously going down, but I would actually be looking at ES to fill in this huge gap over here. So let's look at that. We look at the time quickly. 8:30, 4:15. Because that gap, as I said, was on the daily. Look at the daily. That's the fair value gap. So if there are bulls in the market, there would be they would be seeking this low and then to spike it back up, come up to here, either into this fair value gap or to bounce off there. I love trading. I love it. It's so much fun. Just watching these candles do the things that they do, it's fascinating. So we've got liquidity being built up on the buy side on this fair value gap over here. This could be an IOFD. So look at that. That could be an IFD where the institution is entering every single time that price is coming in here, and then what they do is that they just spike it a little bit so that there's no other people in there, and then they head straight down. But looking at the news that got released, we have, that was the release of the news. Whole bunch of people getting in and out the market. We have this little zone section over here where price could possibly go into. What a perfect reaction. Absolutely beautiful. Dollar, consequent encroachment, perfect. That is the 1 minute. What's this? 15 minute. Look at the 5. It's just amazing. So this is like a perfect symmetry. From here, goes down, comes up. The symmetry is just amazing. Yesterday was an amazing day. Today is just pure manipulation day. Expect nothing less, you check as I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second, this life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing, new focus, no guessing, just bold an obsession, all in his possession. You got their attention, I'll leave an impression and take your redemption, just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. Let's change the track. Here we go. Hopefully the music is not too loud, not bothering you. I just wanted to create some little bit of ambience in the background.
Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Right now, I actually would want this bar side to get taken.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient. Hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing.
But it's gonna play a little creepy game.
Sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown. Get in my
That's just what they love doing.
town. It ain't your place, I'll diss my town if I want
Long term, again, I'm after these these equal lows, the sell side for the day.
to choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift. Oh.
Let's see how everything else is working. Yeah, DXY, there's a whole bit, there's sell side on 2 points now. It hasn't come, like I said, DXY did not hit its liquidity that it needs to fulfill. If it wants to make the move up, this is like a fake out leg, and it would have to come in down here into this fair value gap, which is right there, not fair value gap, in volume imbalance, and it could possibly go to this fair, that there's a fair value gap.
Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin.
So we can sell side, fair value gap. Either it continues to go lower and search for this, or from there it goes straight back up and seeks the buy side, which means everything else is going to go short.
Wrong tissue. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind.
This is such a dirty day.
Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Any divergence?
That's it, the end of the song. Next time you'll sing along. Trust me, there's nothing wrong. I just need to carry on, cause society's a myth. Put there to
Don't know, my phone just rang.
what they give. Don't ask questions, shut your
IOEFD going buy side.
Don't ask questions, shut your lid. I need to
We have this to here. Go to higher, no.
feel like my brain is overloaded.
Go to low.
Losing it. Don't let them tell you what to do, man. They don't know shit.
Yeah, I haven't seen divergence in the markets yet. And we're just waiting. We're waiting for it to show us a clear pathway. If you've somehow been able to read this differently, please tell me in the comments. So far, we've actually stuck to our rules, which is good. It's always nice to stick to your rules and make sure that you don't break them. I'm just going to pull up these institutional levels. Yeah, today's a day where I wasn't able to get into the trade, and for the morning session, I'll see how lunchtime plays out. But it's what it is. Unfortunately. Just going in here and analyzing. Hello, Don. How's it going? So we have this candle here that got broken once, this got broken twice, a little fair value gap in there, for DXY to go from that point lower. There's also a fair value gap here, which is on a daily NWOG as well. Daily gap, as well as the consequent encroachment. Or it could just explode past it and fulfill its objective, which is up here. Which is where I would like to see it go. Just right to that place right there. You're doing well, Don. What's it like in South Africa at the moment? There we have fair value gap, we have fair value gap, it's broken 1, it's broken 2, it's broken 3. I expect this to continue going higher. Because then everything else comes lower. EVP could be seeking its weekly weekly opening gap. Oh, no. Nothing. For me, personally, there's nothing super clear. Norway, I've actually been to Norway. I like Norway a lot. We have this volume imbalance right there. It's being held. Volume imbalance is being held. Over here as well. I mean, a void. This right here, where there's no wicks touching, that right there is a void. Ooh. That's good. Making profits is always the way to go. As long as you stuck to the rules of your system, whatever that system is, I don't discriminate. Whatever you want to do, however. So that's the thing that I find fascinating. There seems to have been this big horde of people that there's this big horde of people that have decided that they're going to, you know, be very defensive of everything ICT, and there's a big horde of people that are very defensive of their methods as well, that they make money. For me, honestly, whatever makes you money, whatever works with you, because not everyone's the same. People read price in a different way. If you like to use indicators, if you have your certain time of the day, if you have your system, just roll with your system and do that. There's no right way to be a participant in this market. There's divergence in the 1 minute on dollar. From that high over there to here. So that's going down, and that's going down as well. The highs of that and the lows of that. That shows me that there's a form of divergence happening, whether it's a small move or a big move. It'll be interesting to see. Now, watching it on my, let me actually pull the actual this chart that I use up. So this is my actual trading platform chart that I use, which I like using. It shows me where the imbalances are. The divergence is actually playing out. So where we have all of this, you just look for imbalances. So you have a site volume imbalance over here, we have a site and volume imbalance over here, we have a site and volume imbalance over here, which then gets respected going down. We have an IFEG over there. So as soon as that gets respected, it gets respected, it gets respected. Another volume imbalance right there and there. Over here. This one, they tried to bring it down, didn't work. So this divergence seems to be playing out right now. So dollar's going short and everything else going long. Let's look at everything else quick. Yeah, it's going up. US dollar, I mean US 500 going up from that 1 minute fair value gap that I put out beforehand. Beautiful. They use support and resistance on a 30 minutes and 1 hour time frame, trading off breaks and retests and rejections. GBP for USD for London. Nice. That's alright. Everyone is in their own trading journey. Everyone has their own trading journey and their own pathway. You know, it's just, as long as you stick with it. There's lots of people that come into this industry, they're very, very new, and then they get burnt out because it actually requires a lot more work than they expect. This is not a this is not a get rich quick thing. When you're trading, it's rough because the markets are out there to literally try and take your money, and your job is to try and take their money. You know, and it just depends. You know, people would get burnt in like 3 months, 6 months. If you're gonna hold out for like a year and a half, 2 years, you start seeing things repeating. You start seeing things that develop in price. You start seeing all these different ways. So my advice is just don't risk too much, unless you got something super solid, like some secret. If you do, please share it. See that little micro divergence I spoke about? Here we go. It's playing out. If you were following on that DXY from right there, from that micro divergence, this swings the whole idea back down to going to the sell side. So that little micro, let me show that dollar GBP divergence. Okay, so how this works is you take the highs of here to here, or from here to here. You see the angle of the cat of that line is going down. You then look at the lows of the opposing market. So this low over here compared to this low, because they're opposing markets. So you can't do the highs and the highs unless it's something like, if I was looking at Euro USD, I pull up GBP USD, because that will show me, like right now, that there is this high to this high is making a higher high, whereas this high to this high is a lower high. So that is a divergence, but right now there's no divergence because the actual leg needs to make a move. And we'll see where that goes to on GBP. I'm expecting the lows. This is the implied fair value gap. I'm still testing this. I'm still testing this implied fair value gap. Now, this is interesting. This is interesting. This is what I wanted price to do. I wanted the dollar. I wanted the dollar to come and take this sell side liquidity over here, and then be looking for the longs. So we could be getting into a short very soon. A lot of liquidity under here. Not much on the buy side apart from here. There's a fair value gap here. There's also a fair value gap here which wasn't completely filled on the 1 minute. But I'm going to put it down to where the actual thing is. There's also a little one just above it. If I'm looking on my chart, there's a fair value up here, but that's not the one I'm looking at. The one I'm looking at is the one underneath, because that got respected. And what was there as well? Just inside of that was a volume imbalance, just there. These highs are important because this fair value gap is also important. So that fair value gap right there with the volume imbalance in the leg going up, down, Right there.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Those are like my levels that I would be looking at.
Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant.
Do we expect dollar to make a lower low? Taking this volume balance, it's taking the fair value gap all in one day. Underneath that, daily, I don't expect it to go to its highs, but I do expect it to go to at least halfway. It would have to finish halfway. Somewhere in here. That'll be interesting for like an afternoon trade.
pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Y'all do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign. A sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind.
It's working well.
Everybody in the world blind. Please, Lord,
Yeah, that divergence that I said there, because it did not create a market structure shift going downwards and create a break, therefore we don't consider that to be divergence.
yeah, don't ask questions, shut your lid. I need to run away from this and go get off the grid. Feel like my
The implied fair value gap,
losing it. Don't
which is over here,
what to do, man, they don't know shit.
there was an interesting price reaction to it. This fair value gap over here, that one drawn out in time. Lots of buy side on GBP. But there's also these lows over here which haven't been taken. Right there. That for me is, that's the target, and it didn't actually reach it. Right there, those beautiful equal lows, right there. That's a target. Hasn't touched it. So yeah, I'm looking for shorts. Either they want to take price all the way up and go short over there, or over here, which funnily enough is very close to 830. So if they push this, they'll push it higher and come down again. Look at this. Okay. I was looking at all of this buy side liquidity, because that's this nice liquidity, there's equal lows here, there's equal highs up here. If it wanted to come up and tap these, that's where I would be looking for a trade to go short. But we're seeing how price reacts, of course. TV, no trades yet. Did a nice call on divergence. So between the DXY on the 1 minute, it was a little divergence here and over here. But I am seeking, I'm expecting dollar to continue going higher. I'm just waiting for it to fulfill its sell side objective. Which means I'm waiting for all the other currencies to fulfill their buy side objective. Because in the long term, if you look at this, I mean, this is just chop nation and then just break short. Gone long. Now there's a look at these equal lows over here and over here. I mean, all of this liquidity over here. If I was to put it like the other line over there and draw that out in time, I mean, there's a long distance to go till we get there. Thanks for calling me boring. I'd rather have patience. I'd rather miss a trade and follow my rules than be impulsive and just get into a trade just because. You know what I mean? When you're in these markets, you're in them. You want to be in them for the long term. Have you taken trades today, TB? Because again, we're in this market to be consistent and be sustainable. We're not in here to just randomly, oh, I might see something. No, I want what I want. I want the market to come to me, and then I'll trade. I'm not going to. I don't play their games. I play my game. Whoa, you better trade on Bitcoin. What platform are you trading on? Are you trading on Binance or Bybit or BitGet or what are you trading on? Because if you're doing it through the if you're doing it through the CFDs on like 8cap and stuff like that, it's the spread. It's like $50. It's rough. So market profile right now is it took sell side, came down, came up, nice fair value gap, and then it's seeking buy side. Dollar. Oh, these lows. I would want these lows to get taken before making a move. They're literally just dancing around. Hello, Nightology. Yeah, so my recommendation for that is try stay off the traditional trading platforms and use the crypto platforms for any crypto trading that you're going to do, because it's rough. The crypto trading is rough out there. Why is my thing not on here? Excellent. How'd you do? Where is... Go with this profile. So far, I'm still actually just waiting. My whole idea is that I'm waiting for dollar to take this sell side and then rage higher. And so for the euro, it's taking, that means that I'm waiting for it to take the buy side over here and go lower. Which move did you catch on GU? Was it this leg or the one below it? Or this one? Yeah. That I'm actually on. It's either that one, or you took that and you went short. My way of using ICT. Yeah, man, it's different. It's just I've done observations. I kind of have my own way, and I wait for the market to come to me instead of just forcing my will. Oh, you got the first sell move, which is this one over here or this one right there. So my comment on GBP is basically the same as Euro US dollar, except that Euro US dollar is all the way up here and GBP is here. So I'm kind of expecting, because it's taken the sell side, I'm expecting this buy side over here on GBP to get taken. Because if you look at the price over here, 10.15 compared to price over here, sorry, this is on the 5-minute chart. 10.15 of the previous day to where we are now compared to euro, where we pull this over here. In euro, 10.15 of the previous day, euro is already higher. So there's a massive divergence where both GBP and euro need to meet somewhere and have a balance. So I'm looking for euro shorts and possibly GBP going long. It's just taken sell side, so I'm expecting it to go up. And where the markets could correlate is after it takes this buy side, then it could go short. That was the previous day. Right there, that was the previous day. I'm actually just looking for my file, not new chart. Where are my experts? Just make this.
Positivity. I feel like we all just hate on everything, is killing me. Thoughts build quick, causing different possibilities. Negative thoughts will cause different disabilities. So do better, work hard under pressure. If you got no time, work smarter than ever. Don't ever let them tell you that you can't never say never, and turn your mind into the truest.
MQL4. Inputs common. Just save it. Save. Euro USD. Done.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day.
This is a problem. My risk manager is not coming up.
I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning. And this is just the beginning. I need a big change, only feel like living.
I'm gonna have to fix this somehow. Check. Okay, so price is not moving. Oh wow, okay. Our risk manager is not in here. Does anyone have recommendations? Channels I use for trading are basically it's Twitter. So I'll post it in the chat quickly. I was saying recommendations for the recommendation for a risk manager. That's my Twitter handle. Thanks for the follow. Make sure you leave the stream a like as well. I'll have to enter this manually with a lot size now.
feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
My stop loss in pips generally would be 4 or 5 pips.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make it every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is
Yeah,
so vacant.
it's
I'm
not
like
correct.
shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing
Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Oh, this looks like a big F. Take your so this right here, this whole price action right here, where it's gone like this, it's chopped down, done this, come up, it's gonna go up and then come down. It's exactly it. Just have to be patient.
There's no mercy in this world, just hunger thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause.
I'll follow everyone right back. That's what I do.
Don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues. I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you. Just go get your own tissue.
All about that community. Making sure they're all connected, having fun. Because trading gets boring sometimes. But it's beautiful to see things react the way that you want it to. So where are we right now? Right over here. If you see over here, we have this fair value gap, volume imbalance, this volume imbalance, this volume imbalance. They got broken straight. So we're on side for a buy side move, which is happening. That it's going up, and the lows from that point are going down now. Diverge. It's now just making a tracement on the dollar. Are we looking at euro? Buy side was taken, sell side was taken. Now we're looking for the next buy side to be taken. That's going to be an objective for the US 500. If it wants to push up, that's where it's going to go. There's nice equal highs above here as well. So that could be like an afternoon trade. This is the US 500, Prince. All right, done. Let's hope that's. I hope for you in your case that it doesn't continue going up, and that my analysis is wrong for you. Right now, Prince, I'm on the Euro USD as well. Yeah, Ethan, I know. I'm also expecting the sell side to get taken. I'm just waiting. So I'm expecting. I want it to take it out. This has to be taken out first, in my opinion. Natology, order blocks. You want to see order blocks? Sure thing. We have an order block here, which will be, from that point, will be a bullish order block. This point over here, within that fair value gap, that would be a bullish order block. This point over here, that's also a bullish order block. But as soon as we have broken this, there's been a shift in structure from that candle. Right over there, there's a shift in structure. Right there. So this candle, or these two candles, can be considered to be the beginning of your bearish order blocks. What we're looking at is right over here. That's your bearish order block. And again, this whole section of price, that over there, the last one, that would be a bearish order block. But when it comes to Euro USD, when we're looking at order blocks, don't work as precisely as they do over here on US 500. So looking on the 5 minutes, the higher time frames are more accurate, but this section right here, that would be your bearish order block. That's why I want these highs to get taken as a bearish order block. I generally don't put in order blocks. I see the order blocks, but I don't chart them in, just because you can see how price reacts. Like on this move coming up, we have, let's go to the 1 minute actually for that, because you can do so many, you can literally do so many order blocks. So if you're looking over here, this is coming down, it's going up, it's coming down, it's going up, it's coming down, coming up, going down, coming up, going down, up. Now that last candle right there, of that leg, that would be a bullish order block right there. So that whole range of price action in there, that's a bullish order block. Then we're looking at this last leg over here of the new move. That bullish, that order block didn't get respected, but this order block did get respected right there. So this one over here, this one over here didn't get respected. This one was respected. This leg, this order block here didn't get this order block over here wasn't respected. Looking at this one over here, if you're taking an order block over here, that's where the range and chop came. Yep. Your original order block in this little turtle soup section over here, it's right there. So let's go into 5 minutes and just look how that is. Yeah, it's perfect. That last red candle. So different time frames will show you different things. So if you're going to go long again, if you're waiting for that order block, that's gonna be a while. It's gonna come in a while. But even if you were trading short on Euro USD here, and you're looking at this being an order block, this hasn't been respected at all. That's why my aim is for it to go up. It has to seek this buy side right here. Otherwise I'm not in a trade, and I just observe. Let's look at GBP actually. You were using for your order block, your trade, you're using the highest high right there. You're using this leg as your order block, your bearish order block, right there, going down. I see your trade. So, for me, in my opinion, I would have considered that to be a risky move, because that time of the day, Euro had just blitzed and diverged. It just went up through the roof, and it formed these equal highs over here, right there. So, in in my opinion, it would have been quite a risky thing to take your order block and put it just above the equal highs and then taking it down. But it's a move that worked. Respected the order block. That was a good 4R if you held that until now. And if you're looking at this little time frame here at 8 o'clock, God. Oh yeah, I've got a whole bunch of rules done. You're just going on. So again, what's your criteria, Don? This one would have been a better move. This bearish order block over here, because your stops could have been tighter, and then rolling that move down, we're looking at 10R for that. That would be nice. Right now, it's bouncing off of a bullish order block. Yeah. And just look at the time, 11 o'clock is hit. There's normally some kind of reversal thing that happens here. But this price action on EURUSD has just been the most chop that I've ever in my life. Like, this is just, it was a really nice throughout the day. It was a beautiful move that just continued and continued and continued. 1 hour time frame support, bearish candle close outside support. 1 hour time frame. Okay, let me just pull that out. 1 hour. How do you draw your support? Bearish candle close outside of support. So are you looking at the bodies, or are you looking at the wicks, or like a zone? Like how do you define your resistance? Yeah, this has just come lower. Again. What's the other doing? Oh, high up. There's a breaker right there. What you got? We have this one coming up here. high low. Yeah. There's another one going down. As soon as that broke, this breaker, you could have ridden it. As it broke, this breaker, you're right down. Your support zone covers the lowest wicks. So you don't draw it on like a how do I put it? You don't draw your support off of like a line chart. That's honestly how I would do it. If I was looking at the 1 hour and I was doing support and resistance, is I'd literally put it over here because it touches 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll then look at the next range, which is there. Your next range is right there. The next range would be right there. You don't know how to use a line chart, Don? It's not a bad thing. I'll explain it to you. Line chart is the same thing as candle chart, except there's one thing. It only tracks the bodies. So if you see over here, if I were to put this line right over there, okay, perfectly over here, you see where the bodies are? And they have all these wicks over here. And then what I do is I convert this to a line chart, line. Look at that. That's all it is. It's the bodies of the candles with no wicks. But candles give you a lot more information because sometimes you get massive spikes like this that will be able to take out. For example, if I put my thing over here, and if I do that, you see this wick right over here, and I go onto my line chart, there is no wick over there. There's actually some people that trade just using a line chart. Fascinating when I see it. I'm like, whoa. Because what they do is they're like, okay, it's something that I was doing before. I'll show you. So let's go back in time. What they do is they look at this price action, for example, and they're like, okay, now the line, this chart has gone from here to here to here to here to here. What's it left behind? If you go from this point to this point, there's a nice gap, and if you go from this point to this point, there's a nice gap. I'll pull those out in time, and oh, I missed one. From here to here. Then you look on, so that was like stunning. This whole is zone consolidation goes up. You then look from that high to right there, and you get an interesting level. You then look at from here to here, and you get an interesting level. So they use line charts in a way where they're continuously seeking a point to reverse off of.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient. Hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing.
There's other people, when they zoom in, it's actually fascinating. They have this. I'm just trying to find it in the price. Yeah. If you see this point and this point over here, this is like a whole different methodology. But if you see that little section right there, if you draw that out in price, it comes really close to it. But like they would normally step their stops and stuff on top of that, because that is like a true held thing for some reason. How do you draw a zone on a line? If I was to draw a zone on a line, I would, especially if it's like like this, is I would not draw zones. I draw lines. So specifically is if I have this point over here and that goes through, you have a whole bunch of resistance and stuff right there. I'll do that, and what I'll do is in this section of price right here is I would seek a sell, and then same thing for if I had price doing this right there. As soon as it's gone from that sell, come into here, and because of that gappy and that line, there's another one over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9, 10. Yeah, it's quite a big one. In that price action right there, that's where I would look for a buy. That's how I would trade traditional support and resistance. Kind of opposite to how everyone else trades it. MFX, yeah, I am going to trade, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting for my trade to play out, which is I'm looking for this buy side to get taken, and then I'm looking for a short. So nothing I can do until then. If price doesn't want to give me that now, then I just sit and eat grapes. And it's getting there. Yeah, like I said, I'm just waiting for this buy side here to get taken. And if it wants to seek higher prices, which is up here, if it wants to seek all of these higher prices, then I'll be in for a short. If not, then I wait. I was actually very worried that exactly Nautology. And now we're in a time zone where it's like I could actually just close the chart and come back after one. You know, wait for the lunchtime, after lunchtime. And as you can see, I have 1 o'clock marked out right here. So my trade entry is normally at 10 o'clock, but because like between 9:50 and 10:10, but because in that little time segment, okay, so let me just pull that out. 9:50 and 10:10. In this price action right here, there was zero divergence. And so my trade idea should have happened in that time frame, and it didn't. And if it doesn't pan out, then I don't take a trade. It's as simple as that. Very true, Natalie. Patience is key, and it is the hardest thing to do. As I was saying, I was actually very, very afraid. I was so afraid that coming on and doing these streams, I would kind of feel, how do I put it? I would feel tempted to just enter trades because I need to take a trade to prove that I can trade. But I would rather be safe and trade on days where it is consistent, because I look at this price action, and this is my whole reason for not actually taking a trade for right now, is that this whole price action right here, I mean, that is just dirt. It is just pure ground. There's no ways that you'll be able to find a trade in here, because it's what's called seek and destroy, S&D, okay, where they literally, they will, okay, if you enter over here, so let's just say you take a short position, prices come down, it's respected this fair value gap, and everyone's like, oh yay, it's nice, it's nice, it's nice. I'm at 1.14%. I only started 2 days ago, and I have 20 days to do it. Again, I'm only risking 0.5% until I get to like 3%, and then I'll start risking 1%, and then after I get to like 6%, then I'll start risking 2%. But I wait for my trade to happen, because it has to happen the way that I want it to happen. Otherwise, I'm not in, because like I said on the last stream, when I'm trading, I want to make sure that I trade like I would trade in real life. I'm not just going to take stupid risks, because after you get your account, this has actually happened to me. I got my very first funded account, and as I got the funded account, I was like, oh, I'm a god. I can just trade like a dream, like I was a baller. And then I went into drawdown, and I'm still in drawdown on that account. Not as much drawdown, but I literally went into like 9% drawdown, and now I'm up to 3%. So yeah, just make sure. Obviously I already traded for like, I got a few payouts, but no, you want to trade it and be patient, and that's the lesson I learned. So as I was explaining, the seek and destroy profile is just hunter. So you'll be like, okay, there's a nice fair value gap, it's bouncing, great. So I'm going to get in here, and I'm going to keep my stops nice and tight, and I'm going to ride this down all the way to, where do you see equal lows over here? Perfect, over there. Let's go to this equal lows. That's very nice. What they do is they come and then they snipe you out, and you're like, okay, well, they're going long. So as soon as it comes here, I'm going to enter long and put my stop just underneath there, and I'm going to seek the buy side, which is up here. And what happens? It goes up, and it's like, no. So, anyways, I have everything ready and set up to trade, and I'm just waiting for this buy side to get taken. Yeah, Don. That's why I said I hope my analysis is wrong. because I'm expecting this market, I'm expecting this to seek the buy side. So with ICT and his methodology, it's very, very simple. And I'll actually, while it's doing its business, I will explain the way that I trade. Basically, it's very, very simple. It's very, very simple. Every single day, I set the electronic trading and normal trading hours gap, and what it needs to do for me is 8:30, which is over here. There it sets sell side, and then 9:30 it sets buy side. As soon as buy side gets taken, it makes a move. What am I looking for next? After all this buy side is taken, I'm looking for sell side. So where's the nearest sell side? For me, the nearest sell side would have actually been underneath these lows, but it decided that they would only conquer those lows later on. Okay. Then, as soon as this, for them, that's why Forex is rigged, is that they didn't actually meet that until later on. So what they did was that they hovered over here, they set a whole bunch of like liquidity over here, which they spun around in the Asian session. And so Asian session went up for that liquidity and went up to here. Then from here, this was last night. This was a trade that I took on my other account. And when you do this, sorry, last night for me is the AM session, because for me it's like 3:32 AM in the morning. Again, what you do, and I'll explain very, very clearly once more, is, let me just remove that, is you have your 9:30 open. So 9:30 open is over here, and you go to wherever price closed at 5 o'clock. So price closed at 5 o'clock right there. So this is your Edenred gap. Okay, in that price action, what do we have? We have our end dog right here, which is on the sell side. And what's nice about that as well is that you have, as it opens here, you have these nice equal lows down here. So let me put that in black, make it a line. We have those equal lows over there. But what's interesting is that those equal lows come after, before the 8:30 open. So this is 8:30 candle right there. Okay, and then you have buy side, which is 9:30 candle. So at this time of the day, let me just put sell side here quick. Sell side. Okay, so what you want to see happen is you want to see both sides of the market taken. Generally, okay, or one, and it makes a big move. So what happened here was it came down, it took a little bit, it bounced all the way up, and took, because this is your 9:30 candle. Yeah, so the highest point before that 9:30 was set was over here. Now, at that time, when 9:30 started, right there, it didn't take sell side first, okay? It went up for buy side, which is right there. And as soon as that happened, it equal lows down here, it goes up, comes down, and then it starts the algorithm, which is, oh lovely, fair value gaps galore, fair value gaps galore, and fair value gaps galore right there. For the next leg is actually an order block right there to the sell side. Oops. That's a bearish order block, not bad. And so you had 3 trades in that, well, if you go into the 1 minute, yeah, we're not there yet. If you go into the 1 minute, that's why I look at the 1 minute chart, is because what I want to see is where is the nearest. So over here, you have these equal highs over here that were set. Now, what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the fair value gaps or volume imbalances before. So in that fair value gap, where this fair value gap is here to here. So there's a fair value gap or an imbalance just beforehand coming up, and then we have that fair value gap. That is how I know that that's going to be respected. So I'll be able to take that above the highs and go short to the sell side. And that was trade 1. Then it comes in again to this point over here, this little fair value gap inside of there. There's a whole fair value gap there. To just be safe, as soon as it gets into that fair value gap, which on the 5 minutes you'll see, 5 minute over here, it went that blue candle there, and then a 1 wick. That's your 1 wick on the 5 minutes. And you can put your high above here, and you can trade down to equal lows again. Sorry, that's not equal lows, that's equal lows. And so this is just pyramiding yourself into positions. We have the next fair value gap, put here, high, low. And you just carry on going until the end of your day. And this is the tactic that I use every single day going into the market. It's how I set myself. So the day before, what you saw was 8:30. It came up to take the 9:30 here, took buy side, and then now it needs to take some kind of sell side. So we have fair value gap, fair value gap, fair value gap, fair value gap, and it just drops. Let's look at the next previous day. Right over here. That was a Thursday. Let's look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30 open, which is right there. And we're looking at the 5 o'clock lows is right there. So there wasn't much of a difference here when it came into price. So Thursday was actually, looks like quite a challenging day. But what you then do is, if it's challenging, is that's your electronic trading right there. It's like it just went up, down, and then there's nothing much that happened. It was like basically opened at the same price almost. So what you look at is you then look at the 8:30 low, which is over here, right there, and you look at the 9:30 is there. Where did it create? It created highs over here. So what are we looking for? We are looking for one of the sides to get taken out first, to seek all of this liquidity down here, and then I'm expecting it to start making its way up to at least this buy side at 9:30, which didn't actually happen. It happened over there, but that's why Forex is a weirdo. But as soon as this happened, we go into the 1 minute again. Where are we in price? Here we are. Okay, so we look over here. But the trade didn't happen. 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock came, 12 o'clock came. You're still waiting. There's no change, there's no shift in market structure yet. So for me, a shift in market structure is very unique. There's no market structure shift without 2 breaks in my eyes. What I mean by 2 breaks is if I take this line over here and I call it a break 1, and I do another line over here and I'll call that my market structure shift. Okay. If I have this candle here that's been broken, oh, it's a market structure shift. Is it? I have to wait for this candle here to be broken, in my opinion. for my market structure shift to actually take place. You can do it on many different time frames as well. So not time frames, on the different legs. So as you can see, let me just do this. This leg over here goes up. That's my break. It needs to break that. No, that didn't happen. This blue candle over here goes up, doesn't break it yet. So we set a new one. Then it becomes this red one going down because that blue one's come up and that's gone up and come down. That's my break one. Then my market structure shift will be after, so it sets this, comes down and breaks this here. That for me, right there, that's my market structure shift. In that price action, I will then go and start hunting fair value gaps and imbalances all the way up to the leg. So that there's none there. And we're looking here. Here is a fair value gap on the 1 minute. And you could literally take your long position, put it there, put your lows underneath here, and just ride it up to the highs of the day. The highs of the day, but until like market closes. Right there. That's when market would close. Take a 3R. Yeah. So looking at this price over here, Raz, are you saying Farzand, are you saying that it's shifted downwards, or are you saying it shifted bullish? Because in my opinion, this was down here, that was my break one. Over here, that was my break two. I mean my market structure shift. So in this price, what am I looking for? I'm looking for a fair value gap that hasn't been respected since all of these have been touched perfectly. And then that would be my long. But I'm not looking for longs today. I'm looking for sells. Might be the wrong thing to do, but it's whatever it is. Yeah, Farzand, let me just tell you, man, that will help you stay safe more often than not. Okay, so okay, I'll do it again. Let's just say here. Okay, so what's happening with price? It's coming down. All right, so we have all of this over here. Now we have our first one that gets broken. Sorry, not there. As the leg's coming down, right? So if it shifts as it's coming down, it has to break this. Now, as soon as that happens, it comes down, it comes up. You might think that little blue candle there, as soon as that happens, it's a shift in structure, but it's not, because this right there has to shift. So then you do that all the way down. There's one little blue candle there. We have this whole leg. This one has to shift. We have one little blue candle there. Okay, great. This one has to shift. It does this, this second big one. This has to shift to go up. And then you do it again. From here, there's no shift. We do it from here, doesn't work. You do it from here, in this candle, this one over here, that has to shift up. Didn't happen. And again, trading time now, it's like it's not a good time because it's 6:30, so you wouldn't be trading the time anyway, from 7 o'clock. So when market opens for Asian session, again, didn't break the first one, fine. This one came here, it's this shifted once and needed to have gone up there to break. Didn't happen. This one over here came in, didn't even set that. That little high there, I wouldn't even consider that. Let's go down to the next one. This one has to break, didn't happen. This blue candle broke once, so then I have to wait for the second shift. Didn't happen. Then we go to the next one that breaks underneath that. We have this one over here, and as that goes up, we have the next one over there that gets broken. That is your market structure shift. Then you can start looking for all your little imbalances and stuff in the market. And then you can take trades from all of those positions. So that didn't work out. Okay, next one. Next one is there or just there with your lows there. Fine. Next one. There with the lows at the next place. Fine. Next one. The highs with the lows underneath that IEFD right there. Next one. Let's go look at the next fair value gap, which is from here to here. That didn't happen. So you're waiting. As soon as you're waiting for this, structure goes up again. What do we start doing? Fair value gap didn't work. Fair value gap, that worked. Right there. I put my stops underneath that fair value gap. You trade up. That's how I do it. It keeps you safe. Because this is the thing a lot of people don't get about ICT concepts, is that it's not every single move in the market, and it's always done at specific times. So during my time over here, okay, I wait for another thing. I have to wait for divergence. That's why I didn't trade today, because there was no divergence in the market. Even if I was like, this for me, when I see something like this, when it starts expanding like that today, is dodgy price action in my opinion. Because as soon as it breaks, like has a big leg, yes, we have this one over here. Okay, now the second that gets broken, okay, breaks over there, comes down, comes over here. That one was your market structure shift. It shifted, it started seeking fair value gaps. But because it is such a large range, I tend not to trust it as much. Because if you're like, okay, cool, I'm going to get in over here, put my stops over here, you could have written that for like a 1-to-1. But I try to target more. I try to target like 3 or 4-to-1 trades. And if you're like a wild beast and you want to just be like at it hard, okay, this price action right here was perfect. Okay, this goes down, okay, it's not set. So here's your first break. As soon as that one gets broken, you don't need to, because the next one, this one right here, that little thing got broken right there. So what you're looking at is that to get broken right there. As soon as that gets broken, you're looking at this fair value gap right here, and you're looking at your at entering anywhere here with your stops underneath there. And again, you're going for like a 1-to-1 with these type of trades. If you're a wild beast, you're just going like 1-to-1, 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 1-to-1. But it's not like massive super moves. But that's kind of the thing you should be looking for when you go out into like a larger time frame. So if I go into the 1 hour, I just need to look for a nice little shift in a day. Yeah, let's go and reference this because it's around 8 o'clock over here. I'm going to reference this piece of price action over here. Here we go. Oh no. It's not in my... Okay, let's make it 2 minutes. Okay. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of equal lows. All this liquidity over here, that needs to get raided. Okay. As it comes down, breaks it. To keep you safe, again, what you're doing is you're putting this over here, and you're waiting. That doesn't get broken. That gets broken once, doesn't shift. This gets broken here. Goes down, doesn't break that low, and then this section right there, that is your new one. Now that's broken one. You set your next one up here, that's your broken twice. And then as soon as that happens, then you know that once those are broken, that high is broken, you're searching for your fair value gap right there. Fair value gap over here. And you're trading massive moves. This is a fair value gap, but it doesn't get respected because then you have this as an order block. And you have the fair value gap here. Doesn't like it because this is an order block that needs to be respected. This is also an order block as well, from here to here. And you have a fair value gap just above there. In this section of price action over here, you can see what I'm saying. As soon as the move starts up, you can actually pick it up because you can check all the different price action concepts that are inside of price. So this is actually fascinating. 12 o'clock's gonna come. It's lunchtime on a Wednesday. I was nice to see that order block was respected and it went up. It's not at sell side yet. Sell side for me is the 8:30 candle, which is here. That would be sell side for me. It's going to seek this. It's at the liquidity, but it needs to stomp it. It needs to stomp it and then come up, because all of this liquidity that's built up is I'm actually going to move this order block line and put it here, because that's the new order block. Right in the middle of that FVG. So this nice little market structure shift just happened. That got broken once, that got broken twice, and we're going up. Now here it got broken once, it got broken twice, and we're going down. Let's look at the indices. Yeah. So indices. So this is what I don't know if you're here early on in the stream when I started, but I said that in days like today, where you have one instrument that's gone really high and another instrument's got really low, and then the opening gap is at different places. So it's really easy when all the instruments are moving the same way, and then you have the opening gap below or above or whatever, but all the indices all the instruments on the same side of price. When they're on the same side of price, then you know that it's a very, very high likelihood that it's going to bounce and seek that opening gap. Whereas if they are on separate sides, you're waiting for both of them to kind of, how do I put it? You're waiting for both of them to reach the same point before they switch into, okay, now it's time, because we've kind of balanced ourselves out. We're all at the same place. Let's attack the market, and the algorithm is going to attack the market at the same time. That's just from my observations. I'm still seeking buy side for that. I'll show you. Let me just put up this one. So this this imbalance here is being respected. This fair value gap over here is being respected for the buy side, and this void that was just created. So it would need to break those three for me to even consider a sell forming. Whereas on the opposite side, you have fair value gap here, you have imbalance over here, you have fair value gap over here, you have void over here, and what's happened, it's broken 1, it's broken 2 and 3 at the same time. It's long, in my opinion. It's seeking the buy side, 100%.
Let's go.
Yeah. Definitely seeking the buy side. Which makes you think that if this has been a market that's gone down and goes up into lunch, what are they going to do during lunch? There's consolidation right over here, there's consolidation happening over there. The general chart, if you look at it, has a bearish profile. We've got massive buy side up here. You could see price going low, seeking lows. I'm actually seeking lows. That's why I want these equal lows down. I want these equal lows over here. And I'm looking at this as a beautiful, like 3780. Got all that way to go. How it gets there, we'll see. Exactly, Ethan. It's exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah, this is my life, my strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, oh. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun?
So let's just go into the dollar and look at what's happened.
I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in
We have equal highs over here.
or find a nightclub for the end of the night, oh. And we all got dreams, we all want things.
Stopped, yeah. It's riding to lunch. So I'm gonna actually be doing these on Monday and Wednesday every week, but I'll be on I have my Twitter handle. I don't know if I've posted before. It's at the only gentler. It's Monday and Wednesday. For me, it's like Tuesday morning and Thursday morning. But I am on my charts every single day from midnight until 4 o'clock. So that is from 8 o'clock. I'm on the charts until 12.
I wanna be is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit.
That is New York time, of course. 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock.
Sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now.
It went into that nice opening gap back there. Sorry, not opening gap. This whole thing over here, what is that? That's a volume imbalance. If I take 50% of that volume imbalance, now this is just for the daily. Okay, so let's go to the daily on US 500. Price analysis, we're doing the same thing. So we have our fair value gap is right there, and we have this over here. This section over here is consequent encroachment of that fair value gap right there. Now if you see that on the 1 minute chart, that yellow line I just drew, let's go back in price. Come. Amazing. This is why I like trading the US 500. Because it's just beautiful. It just taps it delicately, like a little butterfly. It's like boop, and then it goes skyrockets. Yeah, daily candles are insanely powerful. But yeah. You sit, listen to what they give, don't ask questions, shut your lid. Yeah, don't ask questions, shut your lid. But I'm still like macro bearish on all of this, because you have 1, 2, 3 that's gone down. This is actually, it's actually broken this low here. Unless it starts doing a big consolidation on the daily, I'm looking for lows. I'm looking for price going down, which means that I'm looking for dollar to go up. So 1, 2, again, same rule applies. If it goes low and breaks the third one, that volume imbalance down there, then I am macro bearish on dollar, which means everything else is going bullish. I don't think sorry, I don't think we're there in price right now. So from there, it's from that, again, it's funny how the dollar has just come down to the volume imbalance and just come up. I love watching price like this. That's why I trade, actually. I don't think anyone could do this unless there were some kind of like something was in their brain. You trade Tesla. I know I don't trade Tesla. I literally trade the US 500, which is E-mini S&P, and Euro USD. Sometimes I might trade GBP USD, but no. That's not, I feel as well, just the same thing, is that the spread is huge. So let me actually just take the, no, you can't see, but on this chart over here, on the broker, at the bottom, I only have two. I have the USA 500i, and I have the Euro USD. It's busy setting up for a sell. Whenever I see price do this, especially when it's been pushing for a while, been pushing up and it's been taking its time because it's been waiting for everything else to catch up, that sells are going to be incoming. But for today, it's 4 o'clock and I have my rules where if it hasn't done what I wanted to do by this time, I'm out. I kind of knew that today was going to be like this. And even if I'm correct, which I think I will be, yeah, it'll either come down to this consequent encroachment on Euro USD, or it'll go down here. If you're looking at GBP, we're looking at this buy side being taken into these fair value gaps over here, and again, this is your gap. You see how now all price is above the opening gap. So you have Euro USD, we're above the opening gap for the day, which is down here. Opening gap is literally, so now everything's finally come into alignment. So this is the opening gap. I would want to see price go consequent encroachment or down here. Dollar, let's go into just the 5 minutes. I want to see dollar go up into its, so this is now again, it's correlation. So dollar is going, will need to go up into it, and it's underneath this, which means everything else needs to be above it. So right now this is above its low price. US 500, same thing. Let's go into 5 minutes. It's gone from, your daily open was here, so now it's not there yet, so it's pushing, it's going to push, so everything's going to push for it to get above this point, above the opening gap. And then after it takes a form of buy side, then it'll go short. But there is an amazing double set right here, volume imbalance. I like these candles are great for me. So yeah, right now again, still be waiting, because this price has been dodgy, and it's below the opening gap. So all the markets are correlated, they have to be. And if you're a trend line trader, what you'll be looking for is basically this trend line over here. Okay, for something to happen over there to some form of buy side liquidity, and then the line will get broken and it'll trade down. That's my observation. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove all of this, and you can catch up with me on Twitter. But what I'll do is I'll post it. So from a form of liquidity, so let's say just from there, somewhere around there, it's going to come up to here. That's what I'm expecting, either in the afternoon session or in the Asian session. And I'm expecting this to come down here, these to here, but to here. So I can do two right there. And what I'll do is when I wake up in the morning, I will post everything, and then yeah, we'll see if it worked or it didn't work. GBP, same thing. It's right now, it's just taking buy side. That was nice. That was a nice take a buy side. But lunchtime now, 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock is normally a like a consolidation in price. So it's the same as 8:30 to 9:30 how I set up my trade. So you do the exact same thing from 12 o'clock until 1 o'clock. You set the liquidity, and then buy side and sell side, and then you see which one it takes, and then you go from there. Okay, everyone, that's gonna be me for the day. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to actually get into a trade. Kind of sucks, but there's another day tomorrow and a day after that. There's lots of trading days out there. Don't feel rushed to ever take something just because you can. The market needs to do what you want it to do, what you need it to do, what your plan says that it should do. Okay, so have a lovely afternoon, morning, evening, whatever it is. Keep safe, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.